startling number of disastrous techniques used in Naruto, and most require too much power and precision for the average ninja to use. Some of them are so devastating, or so immoral, that the greater ninja community officially banned them. These are called Kenjutsu, and one particularly damaging example is Night Guy, which unleashes a huge blast of power that can destroy any opponent, but it also destroys the user's body. Living Reincarnation is another. It allows Orochimaru to transplant his soul into someone else's body, effectively vanquishing them. Forbidden Jutsu in Naruto can get pretty disturbing, so those with a weak stomach may want to tread lightly. The Twin Snakes mutual death technique is banned because it ends in death for both the user and their target. The user summons poisonous snakes from their sleeve, and those snakes bite both people involved, leading to an excruciating death. Anko tries to use this technique toward the beginning of Naruto in order to take down her former mentor Orochimaru, but her efforts are thwarted when Orochimaru replaces himself with a clone, saving both of them from death. The 8 gates aren't technically a jutsu, so they don't qualify as Kenjutsu, but generally, the jutsu that derives from opening these gates, which gradually allow the user to access more and more of their body's power, are banned, due to the high risk involved. Night Guy is a taijutsu technique that can be used by Guy when the 8th gate is opened. His body begins to emit red steam, and his chakra appears as a dragon surrounding him. His strength and speed increase so dramatically that he can totally destroy anyone or anything unlucky enough to get in the way. When Guy uses this technique, he completely shatters his leg in the process, paralyzing him for the rest of his life. Izanagi and Izanami are both genjutsu that are made possible by the Sharingan. Both techniques allow the user to bend reality to their will. While most genjutsu create illusions, Izanagi has the power to make those illusions into reality. This can be used as a defense technique, allowing the user to negate injuries, or even their own death. It can also be used to decide the outcome of a conflict. It was only meant to be used in the most dire of situations, but members of the Uchiha clan began to use it excessively to decide petty disputes. The natural consequence of overusing Izanami is blindness, which means not being able to use Izanagi or any other dojutsu ever again. To protect clan members from this fate and keep order, Izanami was created. Izanami is a technique that traps the target in a world of endlessly repeating memories, and it cannot be escaped until the target accepts reality and the consequences of their actions. Izanami's purpose isn't combat-based. Instead, it's to help those clan members who are drunk with power. Like many Kenjutsu, the dead demon consuming seal results in death for both the user and their opponent. After a complex series of hand seals is performed, the user summons a Shinigami, god of death, who drives its arm into the soul of the user, giving the user temporary control over whose life it takes. The user then physically extracts the target's soul from their body, a process that relies on their own physical strength. Afterward, the Shinigami will devour both the user and target's souls, forcing them to fight for eternity inside the Shinigami's stomach. This technique was invented by the Uzumaki clan, but was used most memorably by Hiruzen Sarutobi when he attempted to destroy Orochimaru's soul, but ended up only being able to stop him from using his arms, losing his own life in the process. Any technique that involves summoning the king of hell is likely to be sketchy. Outer Path, Samsara of heavenly life, is essentially a reincarnation technique that summons the king of hell, who spits up the souls of formerly dead people, allowing them to be reunited with their bodies. It can also be used to revive someone who is being reincarnated using the summon, Pure World Reincarnation, which is used when the original body is not available. This jutsu requires so much chakra to use that of wiping out an entire village, which is how it came to be labeled a Genjutsu. It was created by No Gyoja, the former leader of the Tsuchigumo clan, and then implanted in his granddaughter Hataru's back. While it was ultimately destroyed before it exploded, it took Utakata going into tailed beast mode to get it done. The jar of poison technique is used primarily by Torin Aburame, a relative of Shino's. Though most techniques used by the Aburame clan are gruesome, this one is truly exceptional. Torin sends out venomous insects called Rinkachu, then gathers the corpses of infected people in a small, enclosed barrier. The bodies eventually give off a cloud of poisonous gas that sets off an explosion, sending swarms of insects and gas across the area. The technique was banned because it required multiple bodies to use, and the explosion and poison gas were impossible to control. Casualty Puppet may be one of the most disgusting Genjutsu in the world of Naruto. This technique allows the user to absorb a recently deceased body, gaining control over not only its movement, but also over any techniques the former living person could use. This technique often causes mental instability, which makes it difficult for the user to use the bodies for whatever their original purpose may have been. To use summoning, in Pure World Reincarnation, the user must first get their hands on a piece of DNA from the person they wish to reincarnate. Often, this is accomplished through grave robbing, so that would be the first reason for banning it. The second reason is that the soul needs a new vessel, which means that a human being must be sacrificed for it to work. The user must smear the DNA on a scroll, which causes the living sacrifice's body to be taken over. Originally, the technique created reincarnations that were far less powerful than the original and lacked any personality whatsoever. Kabuto was able to make some tweaks to the technique and fix those problems, resulting in massively powerful clones who acted like their former selves, but were still forced to obey the commands of the technique's user. Naruto fans may remember one of the anime's more disturbing scenes, which involves Orochimaru slithering around on the ground in what looks like a pile of chewed-up gum. With this technique, the user can make their mind immortal and transfer it to another body. He shows his true form, a giant white snake composed of multiple smaller snakes, then swallows his target to transport them to another dimension, where he funnels his soul into their body. After this, he alters the new host's body to look like him. Orochimaru has done this multiple times in the pursuit of greater powers and indefinitely preserving his life. He has also tried to do it to Sasuke, but perished temporarily in the process. That's it for today's top 10 craziest forbidden jutsu in Naruto history. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.